Welcome back to Bills Nation Daily, where we dive deep into everything Buffalo Bills and bring you the stories, performances, and moments that define this incredible season. The latest game was a showcase of grit, determination, and pure football execution, especially in the rushing attack. The Bills faced a cold and windy day in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers came prepared, expecting Buffalo to run the ball. Protecting Josh Allen was a concern, and yet the Bills not only ran the football, they dominated it. 249 rushing yards in one game is no small feat, and James Cook proved to be the centerpiece of this performance. He carried the ball 32 times for 144 yards and added 3 catches for 33 yards, totaling 35 touches and 177 yards. From start to finish, it was clear that this had to be a James Cook game, and he delivered beyond expectations. But what made this victory even more impressive was the collective effort of the running backs. Ray Davis emerged as a significant contributor, rushing 9 times for 62 yards, showing that his role in the offense is growing and his effectiveness is improving with every touch. Ty Johnson, while not putting up massive numbers with only 5 touches for 25 yards, came through in critical moments, converting at least 3 key third downs with physicality and precision. Every running back contributed, and the offensive line, despite injuries and a lack of continuity, rose to the occasion. Alec Anderson stepped in at right tackle despite not playing that position in a game since college, and he handled it with poise. Ryan Vandermark shifted to left tackle, and together, the Bills managed to control the trenches and create one of the most historic rushing performances by an opponent in Pittsburgh. Tyrell Shavers also deserves recognition for consistently executing play-side blocks, opening lanes for James Cook, and allowing the ground game to flourish. The offense had a few shaky moments early on, but the way they finished the game was remarkable. The Bills scored on their last 4 drives, executing long, methodical scoring drives that showcased discipline, control, and strategic execution. 17, 16, and 14 play drives covering more than 70 yards each highlighted the depth and versatility of this offense, keeping the Steelers' defense on their heels. Josh Allen contributed not just through the air, completing 15 of 23 passes for 123 yards with a touchdown and an interception, but he also made history with his legs. He extended his record for the most games with both a passing and rushing touchdown and became the NFL's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, surpassing Cam Newton. Witnessing this live, it's clear that Allen is establishing himself as one of the greatest dual-threat quarterbacks the league has ever seen. Keon Coleman also made a meaningful impact, returning to the lineup and catching a touchdown pass, proving that even with missed games, the offense can find ways to integrate and create big plays. The offensive execution overall allowed the Bills to control possession, holding the ball for 42 of 60 minutes, a testament to strategic game management and calculated aggression. Meanwhile, the defense mirrored this level of excellence. Facing a Steelers team that relies heavily on yards after catch and missed tackles, the Bills limited Pittsburgh to just 58 rushing yards on 18 attempts, holding them well below season averages. This defensive effort was anchored by smart, physical play, especially with Shaq Thompson at middle linebacker, bringing instinctive leadership and downhill tackling that set the tone for the unit. Key moments in the second half changed the trajectory of the game completely. Joey Bosa's strip sack, recovered and scored by Christian Benford, provided an immediate lead and momentum shift, while Benford added an interception on the following possession. These 2 takeaways in 5 plays were pivotal, turning an early deficit and offsetting mistakes from the first half into a commanding position for Buffalo. Trey White contributed with critical pass breakups, and the defensive line, led by Jordan Phillips and Greg Rousseau, combined for a massive 4th down stop that crushed Pittsburgh's rhythm. TJ Sanders also made notable plays in pass coverage, further solidifying the defensive dominance. At its core, football is about execution in blocking and tackling, and on this day, the Bills outperformed the Steelers in both. Every drive the Steelers had was met with resistance, forcing punts, turnovers, and missed opportunities, demonstrating discipline and control that had been inconsistent earlier in the season. Despite a few early miscues, including penalties and turnovers that could have set a different tone, the Bills rebounded with precision and resilience. Josh Allen's interception early, targeting Gabe Davis, highlighted a need for better read progression. Yet the adjustments made mid-game illustrated the team's football intelligence and adaptability. James Cook's brief, unforced fumble was mitigated by overall execution, and the team maintained focus, controlling the game and establishing their dominance in both phases. Christian Benford's performance, with a tackle for loss, interception, and scoop and score, epitomized the impact individual efforts can have when combined with team strategy. The last several games, particularly the final quarters, showcase a Bills team hitting its stride, with key players contributing to historic outcomes and building momentum for the remainder of the season. This game highlighted not only the depth and versatility of Buffalo's roster, but also the coaching and preparation that allow them to thrive under challenging conditions. The balance between running the football, protecting the quarterback, and executing precise defensive assignments created a formula for historic performance, with James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, and others stepping up at crucial moments. Josh Allen's leadership and dual-threat capability, paired with an opportunistic and disciplined defense, created a game where the Bills controlled tempo, field position, and scoring opportunities from start to finish. The combination of preparation, execution, and situational awareness allowed Buffalo to overcome adversity, manage in-game challenges, and emerge with a performance that will be remembered not just for the numbers, but for the demonstration of teamwork, strategy, and resilience. Continuing from the explosive offensive performance, the Buffalo Bills defense truly rose to the occasion, showing that when the team needed a complete effort, they could deliver on every level. Pittsburgh entered this game with a reputation for quick passes, relying heavily on yards after the catch, and yet the Bills tackled with precision, discipline, and aggression, leaving no room for the Steelers to establish rhythm. The defensive line controlled the line of scrimmage, limiting rushing attempts to a mere 58 yards on 18 carries, forcing Pittsburgh to rely on passing under duress, and making sure that each yard gained came at a cost. This level of discipline was enhanced significantly by Shaq Thompson's presence at middle linebacker. His instincts, downhill tackling, and ability to read plays altered the dynamics of the defense, creating opportunities for turnovers and forcing the Steelers into uncomfortable situations. His influence was felt across the field as the defensive unit seemed sharper, faster, and more coordinated whenever he was on the field. Key moments in the second half shifted the entire momentum of the game. Joey Bosa's strip sack on the opening play of the half, followed by Christian Benford scooping it up and scoring, provided a sudden and electrifying lead for Buffalo. The energy generated from that single play reverberated through the team, while Benford's subsequent interception further solidified the Bills' control. The defense's ability to generate turnovers in quick succession, particularly in such a high-stakes environment, highlighted not just physical talent, but mental preparation, situational awareness, and the ability to capitalize on opponents' mistakes. Trey White's contribution in coverage, with critical pass breakups at key moments, disrupted Pittsburgh's passing plans, while Jordan Phillips and Greg Russo combined for decisive fourth-down stops, preventing drives that could have shifted the game back in the Steelers' favor. Every aspect of defensive execution, from pass coverage to tackling fundamentals, was executed at a level that few expected given the season-long struggles earlier in the year. The Bills' defense also excelled in minimizing big plays, forcing Pittsburgh into manageable gains and consistently keeping them behind the chains. TJ Sanders made several impactful plays in the secondary, disrupting timing routes and helping to reinforce the theme of a disciplined, well-coordinated unit. The ability of this defense to perform at such a high level was critical in allowing the offense to maintain balance and control throughout the game. While there were a few minor missteps, such as a botched snap from Aaron Rodgers on a peculiar drive, the overall performance was defined by consistency, strategic intelligence, and execution under pressure. The combination of individual effort and collective discipline allowed Buffalo to dominate both the run and pass aspects of the game, showcasing a defense capable of rising to historic levels when the moment demands it. On the offensive side, Josh Allen continued to build his legacy, blending his passing ability with his rushing threat to keep defenders off balance. His dual-threat performance in this game was emblematic of why he is regarded as one of the most versatile quarterbacks in NFL history. By scoring both a rushing and passing touchdown, Allen extended a record-setting streak and became the NFL's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, surpassing a legend like Cam Newton. Every play Allen executed demonstrated a combination of vision, athleticism, and decision-making, showing a player fully in command of the game and capable of creating opportunities even when the defense appears prepared. His connection with Keon Coleman for a touchdown further illustrated the ability to adapt and integrate teammates seamlessly, ensuring that even players returning from absence could contribute meaningfully to team success. The offensive line, despite adversity with injuries and limited continuity, maintained composure and effectiveness. Alec Anderson, stepping in at right tackle after years without NFL game experience at the position, handled his responsibilities with skill, while Ryan Vandermark's shift to left tackle ensured stability and protection. This allowed the running backs to flourish and Josh Allen to operate without pressure, a crucial factor in sustaining long, methodical scoring drives. The Bills executed multiple drives exceeding 14 plays, demonstrating not just endurance, but also strategic planning and situational awareness. Controlling possession for 42 minutes out of 60, they dictated the tempo of the game, forcing the Steelers to respond rather than initiating, and created a dynamic where the defense could capitalize on predictable offensive tendencies from the opposition. The combination of offensive versatility and defensive dominance made this game a textbook example of team football. Mistakes early, including penalties and turnovers, did not define the outcome because the Bills responded with precision, adaptability, and execution across all phases. Christian Benford's performance, with a scoop and score and an interception, Trey White's timely pass breakups, and a relentless work of the defensive line collectively exemplified how impactful a coordinated defensive effort can be. Every tackle, pursuit, and pass disruption reinforced the theme that fundamental football, blocking, tackling, and execution, is what separates great teams from good ones. The Steelers, while not a weak offense, were repeatedly forced into low-percentage situations, highlighting Buffalo's ability to control critical aspects of the game through preparation, discipline, and raw execution. Looking at the bigger picture, the narrative of the Bills' season continues to evolve. Early struggles with offensive line consistency and defensive tackling were met with perseverance, adaptability, and strategic adjustments that allowed this team to hit its stride in crucial moments. The last several games, particularly the final quarters, have shown a team capable of performing at elite levels, combining individual talent with collective cohesion. Players like James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, and Josh Allen have stepped up at pivotal moments, while the defense has become a relentless force when it matters most. Shaq Thompson's presence, key turnovers, and disciplined tackling have transformed what was once a liability into a cornerstone of team strength. Each victory now carries a sense of historical significance, not just in statistics, but in the manner of execution, resilience, and the ability to dominate in all facets of the game. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Whispers swirling around Orchard Park grew louder last night as yet another chapter of locker room tension emerged from inside the Buffalo Bills facility. According to people close to the team, head coach Sean McDermott has reportedly cut ties with a projected starter after a heated altercation behind closed doors. The confrontation, described by one insider as far beyond a normal argument, allegedly ended with McDermott declaring that the player won't be coming back. Details remain scarce, fueling speculation throughout the league. Some say the dispute began over a defensive adjustment that escalated quickly, while others claim the issue had been brewing for weeks, with frustration mounting on both sides. What makes the situation even more intriguing is that the player in question had been considered a cornerstone of the unit, someone expected to shoulder a significant load this season. Sources around the building insist McDermott, known for preaching culture and discipline above all else, felt the line had been crossed. One staff member, speaking on condition of anonymity, hinted that the coach's reaction was immediate and uncompromising, signaling a level of severity rarely seen during his tenure. Players reportedly left the locker room unsettled, unsure what the sudden rupture might mean for team chemistry. Meanwhile, speculation spreads through social media threads and radio shows as fans attempt to identify the disgruntled starter. Some analysts believe this could open the door for a young depth piece to rise quickly, while others fear the disruption could expose a weakness the Bills had worked tirelessly to stabilize. Inside the organization, silence has only deepened the mystery. No official statement has been issued, and team representatives have carefully avoided direct comment. Still, the sense of finality conveyed in McDermott's alleged words, "not coming back," has left many wondering whether a trade, a release, or a quiet internal move is imminent. As the rumor mill continues to churn, the only certainty is that something significant has fractured within the Bills' locker room. Whether this proves to be a momentary shock or the start of a larger storyline is unclear, but it has already sparked the kind of buzz that tends to linger long after the doors of the facility close for the night. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.